if Tatum's playing, who's not? Kevin Durant, like Will said, the Olympics all-time leading scorer and rebounder and performer. LeBron is going to sit down. Obviously, these guys are now getting a little bit up there in age, so as their time is maybe coming to a close, LeBron came out and said, "Don't count on me playing in LA in the Olympics."
Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Odd Coaches Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Keith Adams. And on this Wind Up Wednesday edition, in segment one, we're going to talk about Olympic basketball reflections now that it's over and everybody's calmed down. We can have an intelligent discussion about it. In segment two, we'll talk about the NBA Cup and see if it can help sustain and maintain motivation throughout an 82-game season. And in segment three, they are back. It is back to WNBA news and notes. So let's jump in it. Olympic reflections. Team USA did what it's supposed to do, won the gold medal. But some of the people were upset with how they did it. With me today, Will Cotton. Will, one, what do you think about Team USA's performance? And two, any thoughts about their treatment, air quote, of Jason Tatum? Floor is yours.
Man, Team USA was great, man. I really think the last couple games they spent Serbia and versus France. I mean, I was cheering like I was young, man. I was cheering like, let's go, let's go. The energy was great for the country. I think that was something that a ton of my friends were telling me about. We were, yelling and shouting, and my wife and my kids. So it was so great, that energy. It's definitely different, something that we've seen in the Olympics in the previous. The Jason Tatum stuff, I think it's kind of like, it's almost like embarrassing that we're even talking about it, or people are having those kind of platforms. Especially when you won the gold medal. Now, don't get me wrong, if they won like the silver or the bronze, open up. You can say whatever you want. What could he done rosters or anything like that? But kind of, he won the gold medal. I mean, the plan that they had was, you know, was it worked. The biggest thing for me was Jason Tatum probably understood his role. I mean, the guy, he's a very smart guy, didn't make a lot of comments about it. Understood, like, hey, while KD is out, I'm going to be the guy who comes in, and I'm KD. And then when KD comes back, I might have to take a seat. I might have to take a back seat. But I think people are blowing it up for him. I don't think I don't think he cared or hurt or things like that. I think he was locked in with his teammates. There was a ton of guys who had made a little comments about, oh, I didn't get enough time, or I didn't get enough this, or I get enough that. So I think it's people are fighting I don't think he did anything, but I think people are fighting his battle for him. And again, it's hard to really critique a team that won the gold medal. So it's kind of just summer talking about stuff. No news available, I guess. So that's
Okay.
really it.
And also with us today, CKSA Project basketball consultant Nima Obadar. Coach, any thoughts about one, the win, and then two, the air quote treatment of Jason Tatum?
Yeah, well, to echo what Will said, the wins were exciting. The games were fun. I thought the energy that our stars displayed and the passion that they had was evident and made it unique from Olympics past, where obviously they're bearing a lot of the pressure on their shoulders, knowing, like Steve Kerr said, we're the only country where we'd be disappointed with a silver medal. And they just played with a different level of spirit. Uh, that being said, I also agree with Will that this Jason Tatum saga, also in air quotes, overblown. Not knowing the mindset of USA basketball, my assumption from just observing over the last handful of years that I've really kind of followed what they do, there's always a succession plan. There's always okay, what are we doing now? But then how are we getting ready for the next time? Because unlike some of these other countries that gather their teams together and practice, multiple times a year. We get together in Vegas, we do a couple exhibitions, we do some practice, and then we out there and we're off and running. So there seems to be an infrastructure of succession plan. If Tatum's playing, who's not? Kevin Durant, like Will said, the Olympics all-time leading scorer and rebounder and performer. LeBron is going to sit down. Obviously, these guys are now getting a little bit up there in age, so as their time is maybe coming to a close, LeBron came out and said, "Don't count on me playing in LA in the Olympics." So as these guys maybe transition out, Jason Tatum has now been there front row seat to maybe step into those
Mhm.
roles.
That's a perfect segue. So let's take a look, fans, at the possible 2028 team in Los Angeles, California. Again, fellas, you have these pre-notes. Tell me who's missing, who shouldn't be on. We're looking at Bam Adebayo, Paolo Banchero, Devin Booker. And sorry about that. Point five's thoughts about Devin Booker in the Olympics came into my mind. Makai Bridges, Jalen Brown, Kate Cunningham, Anthony Edwards, De'Aaron Fox, Chet Holmgren. What's up, Mike King? Jaron Jackson Jr., Jason Tatum, Derek White. One, fellas, I don't see a really good big. We don't have a big. We had to import Joel Embiid to be a big. Nima, I'm going to start with you. Is there anybody you want to keep, toss, add? Who's either missing or who shouldn't be there? What do you think?
Well, I think with the future roster, I do like the thought of Paulo Banchero. I think he's going to really develop as a star both in the NBA and really will transition well in the FIBA game. Um, Shooting is a little bit of a concern. So someone is going to have to evolve and step into being that primary shooter role. In 4 years, okay, there's two guys that are on this list that are going to be freshmen in college this year. Cooper Flagg and Ace Bailey.
Mm.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
Ace Bailey's a bad boy. So
And
I
Cooper Flag fans is at Duke, and where's Ace, Nima?
Ace is going to be a freshman at Rutgers
Oh,
University. They've done a great job recruiting. They've actually got multiple five stars this year in their recruiting class. But again, going back to my previous point, Team USA always seems to have a future succession plan. Cooper Flag was part of the
Yeah.
developmental practice games. Again, an assumption, but you don't get an invite and a plane ticket to Vegas to go practice against LeBron on accident. So I think those could be two other guys. But shooting and a specialist as a shooter needs to be considered, and probably a defensive stopper similar to what Derek White was with this year's team.
okay.
Mhm.
Will, what do you think? Anybody left off? Anybody added? What are your thoughts?
Oh man, I mean, it's kind of hard that I couldn't see Jalen Brunson making on that team.
Correct.
Um, that's a guy that really plays hard. I think he plays the heart of New York, which I think what people in America would love. I think again, like Nima says, we need some bigs. So we'll see what happens. Wendell Carter looks in like 4 years, or Miles Turner looks in 4 years. And let's not forget, Carl Towns is only going to be 32 years old in 4 years. So that may be another guy we could bring a big onto the Team USA team. Even though I think he's on DR or something right now. But again, you can go wherever you want to go. Apparently, as you've seen, Joel Embiid is playing for Team America. There's going to be a lot of guys who I think, obviously guys are going to get hurt, can't play, or fizzle out based on their skill set. It'd be good to see Cooper Flag play. I was hoping the Cooper Flag got a bench seat in this tournament, just sitting on the bench, like you're not going in the game. Like, so that'd be a great experience for him. I can't wait for him to get there. But yeah, I think if we can get a couple more bigs or a couple guys that kind of develop into those really roles and big players that we could get, I'd be excited, man. But I definitely think we got to remove Cade Cunningham and add Jalen Brunson, just for energy and just for the better player. It is what it is. But other
Okay.
look solid to me.
All right. On the women's side, again, mission accomplished. We won the gold medal, but man, it was harder than it thought. So, in terms of the women's 2028 team, we're looking at Asia Wilson, Brianna Stewart, Nafisia Collier, Kayla Cooper, Sabrina Ionescu, Jackie Young, Enrique Ungabawe, and of course, Caitlin Clark. Uh, Nima, what are you thinking about that team? I'm sure I'm missing Paige, but we can't have a 400 guards. Kelsey Plum may still be playing. What do you think about the women's team?
I think again, not having any sort of intel, but the succession plan for USA basketball on the women's side, I think, was to keep two budding superstars motivated in Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese by them not being part of the squad this year and them being part of the squad and the faces of the sport by the time we get to LA. Uh, this may be the more talked about basketball tournament in the Staples Center and the new Clippers arena when that comes open and the Olympics are being hosted out there on the left coast. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And quite frankly, now that we have gold and we did achieve what we needed, I'm grateful because now we get to be excited about something else in 4 more years and keep growing women's basketball.
Hey, Will, I know I forgot one of your players as well that you follow. What are you thinking about the women's team in 2028 and in LA?
Man, they gotta have Juju Judea Watkins in her home state. Come on, City, you gotta have her on the team.
You
I
can't have
think
48 guards, man.
look, I understand they'll make an exception because it would be I mean, again, now I don't know what's going on in 4 years, but they definitely think that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. I think they could even leave Caitlin. I mean, they have to leave Caitlin Clark on. I mean, they have to figure out they're going to have to figure out to get Juju and Caitlin Clark on that team. And it's terrible because Paige Bucket should be on that team probably, and she won't make this team. And what about Angel Reese? I think, at the end of the day, I mean, again, she can't shoot for nothing. I mean, her field goal percentage is abysmal, but I mean, she has a great motor. She's a great in the Euro kind of game where she can just up and down, up and down. She's big. She gets rebounds. She can pass. She can bring the ball up if you needed to bring the ball up. So there's some other women out there that could get on this, but I wonder why the roster is so much shorter than the men's roster.
It's just show prep. It's just, hey, here's the names out. So don't.
They'll add those. I feel that they should add them. I think they'll add those names. I hope they add them though.
Think about this though. Think about this. How cool is it that there is now a list of stars that we all know that are potentially not going to play or make the team? I mean, Paige Bueckers, like you said, she's a killer. She's a star. It's no knock on her if she doesn't make the team. That's how well the game has grown. That's awesome.
All right. And with that, fans, in segment 2, we're going to talk about the NBA Cup Year 2. It's got some sponsorships, got a name. We'll be right back on the Odd Coaches Podcast. This is Dr. Keith Adams, president of the CKA Save Project and author of Finding the Balance, My Personal Journey to Academic and Athletic Success. This book is your key to unlocking the secrets of being a successful student athlete. Drawing from my 30-year career as a teacher and coach, this instructional guide offers a unique perspective on achieving success in both academics and athletics. With over 15 personal stories and insightful anecdotes, Finding the Balance is a must-read for student athletes, parents, coaches, teachers, and administrators. Visit www.ckasaveproject.org to get your copy and start finding the balance today. Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast in segment 2. This is a good time to talk to you when everybody's quiet about the NBA Cup. So let's explain it. First of all, you'll have group play. All 30 teams have been randomly drawn into groups of 5 within their conference on Tuesdays and Fridays from November 12th to December 3rd, known as Cup Nights. Each team will play the other four teams in its group one time. Then from there, who advances? Eight teams will advance to the knockout rounds. The team with the best group play record in each of the six groups and two wild cards. Nima has booked many a tournament, so he knows what I'm talking about. The team from each conference with the best group play record that finished second in its group. For tiebreakers, it's going to be a whole lot of stuff for tiebreakers. And then we've got the knockout rounds. The eight teams will play single elimination games beginning with the quarterfinals, played in team markets December 10th and 11th, continuing with semifinals and finals played in Las Vegas December 14th and 17th, respectively, which is a great time to be in Vegas. What's at stake? The knockout teams will compete for a prize pool and the NBA Cup championship trophy. And the Lakers put up the banner last year. I'm sure the other teams will put up the banner because I'm sure that's what the league wants. Gentle reminder, all 67 games across both stages of the Emirates NBA Cup will count towards regular season standing, except the championship game. Each team will play two home games and two road games. Okay, so fellas, Eastern Conference. We've got East Group A, Knicks, Magic, 76ers, Nets, and Hornets. Nemo, who do you have coming out of there? Any team that you think is just the best team in that East Group A?
Yeah, I mean, my attention gets diverted directly to the Knicks 76ers, which was a great series this past year. I think that one's going to be a lot of fun. With this being early, the Nova Knicks got a lot of familiarity with each other. Paul George and Joel might still be working out their chemistry. I give the nod to the Knicks.
All right. Will, East Group A, what do you got? Knicks, Magic, 76ers, Nets, Hornets. Anybody tickle your fancy?
Yeah, I'm with Nima. I think they'll have their full roster back. Julius Randle, on top of the Nova Knicks as well. The 76ers, they like to kind of lull around till around like December, late December, January, February. Then they start kicking it up. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Knicks. I think the Magic will probably surprise people because they're a young team. They're hungry. They're trying to
Young
make a name
legs
for
run free.
themselves. Yep,
Young
exactly. And they
legs run
got,
free.
and when guys here are trying to, take it easy and like, oh, it's the holidays, remember? So it's gonna be like Thanksgiving, right before Christmas. So some guys be like, they have, families and stuff. So I'll give it to the young, but look out for the Magic. But give me the Knicks to come out, EGA.
All right. East Group B, the Bucks, Pacers, Heat, Raptors, and Pistons. Will, I'll start with you. Who do you have coming out of that?
Man, it's I want to say the Bucks, but man, if the Pacers can make that next step, Halliburton can make those changes that he has to do. Then the Pacers can do, and they just got what's his name? They got Siakam. Obviously, Siakam is playing there, and then they got another person. But give me the Pacers, man. Give me the Pacers. Younger. I think Giannis is still going to be a little hurt, a little banged up because he was doing pretty well with the Olympics. So give me the Pacers, man. I'm giving the Pacers. I think they're the better team overall.
What about you in the East Group B, Nima?
We always forget about the Heat. Don't care who they got. Don't they find a way? I'm taking the Heat.
Okay. All right. And then East Group C, Celtics, Cavs, Bulls, Hawks, and the Wizards. Nima, what do you think?
Well, it pains me to say I know it ain't going to be my Zards. I watch them to learn what not to do out there on the floor. I think this group is probably laid out the easiest for one of the best teams in the league, the Celtics. That's my take on this group.
Okay, Will, what about you? East Group C.
Give me Celtics, man. I think the Celtics are there's really the best team in there. Pending obviously everyone's healthy when they're playing. I think the Cavaliers can make it interesting by coming out. They have two of the things that the Celtics don't have, which is two really good bigs. But as it stands right now, I'm rocking with Nima and rocking with the Celtics to come out this C.
Okay, and in the Western Conference Group A, Timberwolves, Clippers, Kings, Rockets, and Blazers. Nemo, what do you think about West Group A?
I think all of the groups in the West are a gauntlet. The Timberwolves, they really stand out. I think the Clippers obviously just took a step backwards in this offseason. I think the Timberwolves are going to really make some noise in Group A.
Okay, Will, what about you, West Group A?
I like what Neiman's thinking about. Timberwolves is definitely looking as the favorite, but remember the Kings are a good team last year, and they added DeMar DeRozan as well, so they kind of diversified their offense a little bit better. I think the Timberwolves they're still the winner, but I think they're gonna have to fight through the Kings a little bit more than people think. So, but give me Timberwolves still.
All right, Will, I'm going to stay with you. West Group B, the Mike King, Oklahoma City Thunder, the Suns, the Lakers, and we're forced to talk about them all the time. The Jazz and the Spurs. Who do you have, sir? And remember, Mike King is listening somewhere.
Always, always. I'm rocking with my man Mike King. The Thunder are the best team right now in the West Group B. Now again, we'll see what leap that Wemby makes from year one to year two. Because if he makes like the same year he did in year one to year two, two to three, I mean, this dude is he could be a one man band. He's that good. But as it stands right now, give me the Thunder to come out the West B.
Neymar, I was waiting for you for this one because, as you said, the West is just a murderer's row. What do you think about West Group B?
Murders. This is the hardest group in the whole
Well, what do they say in soccer? Name of the group of death.
group of death, and I will be watching every single one of these games for sure. The Thunder will be the best team throughout 82 games. Greg Popovich and the Spurs will be motivated to take this jump here. Chris Paul, lob to Wemby. Oh my, that's going to be something to be seen. I think, teams are going to make decisions. Where are we going to really put our energy? The Spurs, I think, are going to put their energy in this tournament here. Suns and Lakers, and the Thunder, I think, will come after it. But the Suns and Lakers, I don't think are going to be as engaged for this as they're looking at the 82 game season.
Okay. West Group C, Will. Denver Nuggets, Dallas Mavericks, and I just saw some recent pictures of Luka. New Orleans Pelicans. Hey, franchise. My man Zion is in shape. That's an inside joke. The Warriors and the Grizzlies. Again, that looks very tough, very challenging. Will, who you got coming out of that?
Oh man, I was gonna say the Nuggets just because that's the easy answer, but I think now people are looking at the Nuggets as beatable. I think look at them and they say Jokic is the man. He can do it all, but he can't do it all. They're looking at guys like Jamal Murray not stepping up, Aaron Gordon not playing inconsistent, Michael Porter not playing inconsistent. So there's a lot of teams out there who are hungry trying to make their names on the Nuggets, and I think they're still kind of limping around trying to figure out what they're doing. But with that said, man, it's tough. But I think the Mavericks, man, the Mavericks are tough. Pelicans, Warriors, Grizz. But I think in this tournament, because Nima already kind of mentioned that teams are kind of looking at further down the road. I think the Pelicans could get a nice if they're healthy, man. I think they could definitely steal it, especially if Zion is healthy, Brandon Ingram is healthy. I think McCollum is still playing for him. Then yeah. I mean, that's a team that could go out and win and then catch fire moving forward, at least until the All-Star break. So I like the Pelicans in this in like the West Group C.
Nima, there's a certain guy coming back in Memphis. What are you thinking about Group C?
That's exactly what I was thinking. When Ja Morant was flying through the sky, they were a top four team in the West.
Yes, they were.
So I think he's coming back ready to recapture everybody's memory and show folks, hey, I'm back. I'm here. I really never left. Y'all pushed me to the side. So hey, Pun intended. I think the Grizzlies are locked and loaded, ready to go for this season.
Yep. Everyone's healthy.
Man, it is going to be fun watching the NBA Cup. One of the things that the NBA is trying to do, and before we close, I want to get Nima's thoughts on that. Football is king. And I say often that football, whether it's professional or college football, is destroying basketball, and it doesn't care because it doesn't have to care. But the NBA Cup, in part, is designed to keep some interest in the casual fan before Christmas, as the NFL is even creeping in on Christmas. Nima, any thoughts in your opinion? Because you're a part of college basketball as soon as they start in October and November. Is this good for the NBA to have something like this to keep the casual fans' interest? What do you think before we close the segment?
Absolutely. When the ball tips November 4th in college basketball, I do not watch the NBA. However, this past year, and I thought they were so clever with the rebranding of the courts, you caught our attention because even if I had the game on mute, like I sometimes do, I just have the TV going on in case I look up, whoa, what's going on there? They were very clever. By the way, every other league in the world does this. It's just another opportunity to conversate, grab our attention, mix and match. There's not leagues that can rival us, but if there was ever a cross matchup in Spain and some of the other top divisions, I think the interest level would be even higher. And the league's job is to generate revenue in a very tough time, like you said, with football and the holidays. I think this is brilliant by the NBA. And the fact that they're offering money to the players will keep them engaged. So keep it going, NBA, because mid-November, I need to be watching that Group B in the West for sure.
Yeah.
I've got that established right now where I'll start tuning in around April when with the NBA.
Okay. And Will had mentioned throughout the NBA Cup last year that even his kids said something about the fancy court. So that's always a good
Yeah.
thing. All right. In segment three, fans, when we get back, we're going to talk WNBA news and notes and the story of the week. Love to get your opinion on these things, guys. Stay tuned for that. We'll be right back on the Odd Coaches Podcast. This is Dr. Keith Adams, president of the CKA Safe Project, with a question for you. Are you passionate about supporting student athletes? If so, then become an official member of the CKA Safe Project and make a difference today. With your membership, you'll be able to help us provide essential academic and athletic support to underserved communities nationwide. Join us in empowering student athletes to achieve their full potential, both on and off the field. Together, we can build a brighter future through education and sports. Visit ckasafeproject.org and choose your membership level now. $25 is a bronze level membership, $50 is a silver level membership, and $100 is a gold level membership. Be a part of the change. Become a member of the CKA Safe Project today. Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast. In segment three, they are back from the Olympic break, fresh legs and everything. Welcome back, WNBA. Power ranking: 1, New York; 2, Connecticut; 3, Minnesota. Minnesota is doing the thing. 4, Seattle; 5, Las Vegas. Y'all better pick it up. 6, Phoenix; 7, Indiana, making the playoffs clean. And 8, Chicago, making the playoffs clean. And then Atlanta, Dallas, Los Angeles Sparks, and your Washington Mystics are playing catch up and playing the Page Stakes. Okay. Who's hot? New York, Connecticut, and Minnesota. Who's not? Dallas and the Los Angeles Sparks. And why do the LA Sparks think so much? I do not know. But fellas, our story of the week, Booking 101, the Connecticut Sun. Dejanay Carrington called out the WNBA over what she felt was a lack of promotion for the Connecticut Sun's historic game last week in the Boston Garden. Okay. After leading Connecticut to a victory in front of a franchise record sellout crowd at the first game at the TD Garden Arena, she didn't hold back when she said, and I quote, "I'm going to keep it real all the time. I feel Connecticut as a franchise is historically disrespected. So sometimes if you want something, you got to go out there and do it yourself." I think there could have been a lot more publicity and promo from the top. So let me give you a little bit of the numbers, Nima, before I have you respond first. Sellout crowd of 19,125 for the WNBA game. It was pre-booked, and this is the home of the Celtics and the Bruins, and it's also where Randy Savage beat Tito Santana for the Intercontinental Championship in 1985, I think, or 86. All right, so Nima, the WNBA, was this a missed opportunity? What do you think about the lack of promotion of something that brought 19,000 people to the building?
Absolutely. I wasn't aware until we had our production meeting and you brought it to our attention. And with the surge in popularity of women's basketball, the marketing people in the WNBA need to be championing every possible storyline. You briefly even mentioned, I'm going to go in complete opposite spectrum of the last place team, the Sparks. Let me hear about Cameron Brink's injury recovery. Like, just manufacture these storylines. It's up to the audience and the public what we want to consume. We'll run with whatever sticks, but we got to be hearing about that. That's big time by the Connecticut Sun. Congratulations to them. Congratulations to the New England area for supporting them in that stadium. You think about in WNBA, they go smaller venues because they didn't think they could. Now you're here and you're doing. Let's keep it going. But to keep it going, you got to talk about it.
Yes, indeed. Will, you're my casual fan. 19,000 in the Garden, Boston Garden, that is. What do you think?
I think they missed the opportunity to get a lot of people. The capacity of TD House, TD Garden is like 19,600, and they sell it out. They missed like 500 people didn't. They missed 500 seats. They sold out completely. I mean, that's amazing. I was at a baseball game, the Nationals versus the Rockies. Nobody was playing for nothing, But in this era, I could have put on my phone and just put on the game and just watching something, both things. I mean, we're not just stuck to just, be in our house and watching games and stuff like that. You can watch on your phone. Yeah, I think again, you think like the panel says, I think it's another missed opportunity that the WNBA, just missed out. And I wouldn't even say just the WNBA. I would even say the team. I mean, Connecticut, you have a budget. Your marketing team has a budget. You guys have been putting out all kinds of, you knew that was going to happen years ago or months ago. You could put all kinds of commercials ready to go. Obviously, social media is huge now. You can get people in front of things, in front of their phones. Same thing with the Sparks. I mean, the Sparks, like Nima says, you may not be doing well, but there's an opportunity to say, hey, we're playing on TD Garden. We're showing this. We're selling out. We're playing this. And people. And again, this is the summer. This is right before NFL starts right before college football starts going. Nobody is watching baseball for another month or so until September. This is prime time, and I'm just disappointed they've taken advantage of that. And I agree with Miss Carrington. I'm upset too because that's millions of dollars that they're missing. So WNBA again, they got to do better because they're giving these gems and they're giving these alley oops and they're just not knocking it down.
Go ahead, Nima.
Sport fans, we all have the ESPN app on our phones, and ESPN shares a little bit of blame on this because they carry a lot of these WNBA games. I remember getting push notifications during the women's NCAA tournament to let us know that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese were about to square off, that South Carolina is continuing their streak of being undefeated. To Will's point, wherever I was at, if I got that notification, sold out, Connecticut Sun game, TD, I'm watching. Even if it's briefly, I'm watching. And
and the effort is small. It's just you could put a phone on your kitchen if you're cooking or iPad. You don't have to dedicate the full the TV to do it. It's super easy to watch these days.
Yes, and fans of the show know I'm a professional wrestling fan, and Booking 101 Part of that class is Make Me Care. Tell me who I'm supposed to cheer. Tell me who I'm supposed to boo. Tell me anything to get me invested. And a sellout crowd in the Boston Garden for a regular season game on a Tuesday, that's something to celebrate. So, again, missed opportunity, as we say in public education, but hopefully they can do better. So, as we close, fans, there is a shift. The natural fall shift has taken place. Football season is here. So we move our college basketball talk to Wednesdays as well. So moving forward until the college football playoffs has completed, we will talk NBA, WNBA, men's and women's college basketball, all on the OCP. So stay tuned. Again, we will have our cavalcade of stars as they're available. It's always great to have Coach Neiman when he can fit us in. Coach Johnson may come through. So on behalf of our cavalcade of stars, I'm Dr. Keith Adams saying thank you for listening and or watching the Odd Coaches podcast. And we will see you on the sidelines. Till next time, take care.
The Odd Coaches podcast is sponsored by the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project is an industry leader in providing student-athlete academic and athletic support. From assessing student-athletes' academic and athletic skills, to measuring and monitoring student-athlete academic progress, to improving student-athlete time management and organizational skills, the CKA Save Project provides wraparound services for student-athletes from middle school through college. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by emailing cka@ckasaveproject.org. We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday through Friday on most weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches podcast on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow the Odd Coaches podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CKA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach Franchize. For more information about the CKA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches podcast.